If you are tired of miscommunication or unspoken expectations, then that is likely because of what we like to call the silent contract. Because we all carry these unspoken expectations into our relationships. Today we will share a reflection of a scenario where a woman expresses her feelings about her husband having other priorities.
Yeah.
We are David
and Celeste.
Let's get into it.
We were clear with each other. This is what I need. This is what I want. I would like this and this and this, and vice versa. Everything. Definitely, I don't like this for sure since the very beginning. So you don't think that we have a struggle?
With one of our expectations is the communication. So that makes the transition easier.
We don't have only one priority in life. No, we have like a set of priorities. And then in that group of priorities...
Hello everyone,
Hola.
Thank you so much for being here. So, here's the post that she wrote. My husband and I have been together for 6 years and married for 2. We met while traveling and working abroad. That's been our lifestyle for most of our relationship. But since last year, we settled down to focus on our professional careers. We are also expecting our first child. Well, that's exciting. Congratulations. We come from 2 different countries with different cultures and backgrounds, and we are now settling in a 3rd country. He doesn't really have anyone here, but I do. Most of my family immigrated here about 15 years ago. My husband works a very physical job, and he's also trying to start his own business. He's an entrepreneur with lots of ideas and a big vision for the future, while I have an office job. And he's very focused and always on his phone, doing business stuff and talking to people, creating events and building up websites, which all take a lot of time to organize. When he comes home from work, he rarely helps out around the house. It's not like he doesn't do anything in the house, but gets more stuff done on the weekend and mainly when I'm at work, as I do work some weekends. But for example, we are really busy this weekend and we haven't cleaned the house at all. And right now, I'm doing 12-hour shifts, 4 days straight. Still, I cooked, I cleaned, and I changed the bed sheets, and he only arranged stuff around his office and work on his website. He also loses a lot of time on his phone just watching YouTube. And he is aware that he's procrastinating stuff sometimes. I feel like he puts so much energy into everything except a relationship. He hasn't helped prepare for the baby or ask any questions really. When I or my mom buy things for the baby, he's excited and happy about it, but nothing ever comes from him. Honestly, if I didn't do anything, the baby would probably not have anything right now. I know he's a good man. He does some stuff and he helps sometimes. So I'm wondering if it's me who's asking too much or if I'm too needy. However, I truly feel like I'm not his priority, and this scares me, especially now when the baby's coming. I told this before and he said, everything I'm doing is for the future and for us, but I still feel how I feel. How can I make him realize it? Well, we can personally relate to this a lot.
Yes, a little bit,
2 different countries, first of all, Colombia, Sweden, and the entrepreneurial journey. And even
baby
more crazy, when we found this post, it was like, what?
Yeah.
A baby on the way.
Baby on the way.
So, obviously, there's a lot of changes happening in their lives.
Okay. But she's asking if she's too needy, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then at the end, something that caught my attention was how I can make him change something, she said?
Yeah.
You cannot make your partner change, starting from
No, how can you make him realize it?
Well, the same thing.
Yeah.
I cannot make you realize stuff. I mean, there are, we have had conversations since the very beginning of the marriage, me trying to make you realize certain things, and just like 2 or 3 years after, he's like, oh, me, baby, guess what? And blah, blah, blah. He tells me, I'm like, okay, yes.
Yeah, that have happened a few times.
Yeah, several times, honey. I mean, she cannot make him, and I don't think she's a needy also. I think it's a miscommunication, not miscommunication, a lack of communication.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, naturally, I believe when we're going through so many changes and this transition from, if they have traveled around they've been together for 6 years and 1 year, since 1 year now, they have been settling down somewhere. But just that is a big change. And then starting to the professional careers, the pregnancy, which is a lot of stuff. So it's natural that you might crave for that emotional support.
Yeah.
That
And also when we think about, sorry to interrupt you, but when we think about 1 year, that's nothing.
No.
It is really, I mean, 1 year is no time for you to settle down and have fixed everything.
Yeah, truly. So I think it's just an emotional hunger there for having this communication, and probably from both sides. There is a little bit like lacking communication, I believe, that they discuss each side's needs. And obviously now when she's pregnant, probably even more.
Yes.
She wants more. She needs more support. And but there's the thing, like, how was the dynamic before?
See, I was thinking exactly the same, because I mean, since the very beginning, we set our dynamic. We set it since the very beginning. We said, we were clear with each other. This is what I need. This is what I want. I would like this and this and this, and vice versa. Everything. Definitely, I don't like this, for sure, since the very beginning. So now, if those expectations were not clear since the beginning, in these 6 years, well, now they're expecting things that are not clear.
Yeah, because they're going through a new phase of their relationship.
Exactly.
And their lives.
Yes. Even though now we're going through something new, which is the pregnancy. Yes, baby on the way. But somehow, since we have had this dynamic of being very clear with each other since the very beginning, now with this new episode in our lives, we haven't struggled. I wouldn't say we haven't struggled. What do you think?
When you keep the communication up all the time, then even through the changes, those transitions will be more with ease.
Yes.
You know?
So you don't think that we have a struggle now?
One of our expectations is the communication.
Oh yeah, that makes sense also.
So that makes the transition easier. But I'm gonna share a little bit about like the entrepreneurial journey that we have had and how we can relate to that in just a bit. But something else that I was thinking about, a word that she used was the word help. Like, what does that mean? What does it mean to help out with that? Is it just a physical task? Is it the emotional support? As I see it, is the emotional support mainly. Because...
No, but she's also helping out in the house, no?
Yeah, helping out with the house. But then again, what are the expectations from each other? Do we divide everything 50-50? Or is it okay if I focus on my business more and you maybe take a little bit more responsibility in the house? And whatever works for them or whatever their needs are, it's fine, but it needs to be spoken for not having unspoken expectations.
Yes.
And having this silent contract of thinking that he should do that and I should do this, and it becomes scorekeeping somehow.
Yes.
And that's going to create resentment.
That is the worst. When you assume, for example, since we are more into the feelings, I am assuming my husband should know that now that I'm pregnant, I need this and this and this. Of course, somehow you should have the initiative to investigate and like, hey, what she's going through. But it is really a big part that me is telling you what I need.
Yeah, and what does showing up for you mean?
Yes.
And is that clear for this guy? Does he really know? Because he's saying loud and clear, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for us and our future. But is that what you really need at the moment, right now?
You know what? From what she describes there, I could tell, because she makes emphasis in the helping out in the house, right? So that can make me think that for her love language, or how she feels loved, is through acts of service.
Yeah.
More than the touching itself.
Whoa.
For example, we have all the love languages, yes, but we have them in different other parts. But she makes emphasis in the tasks at home. Personally, I also feel loved when you do things in your house that everyone would think, well, it's his house. He's supposed to do things in his house. He's not helping me. He's doing things in his house. But I feel loved that way. So probably for her is the same, that he takes that initiative to help out in his own home.
That is, when we found this post, of course, we discussed a little bit before starting the camera. But something when we were discussing this help is that, okay, right now we're in a phase where I am working more outside the house than you. And we have set those expectations like, okay, honey, you are doing the dishes and you cook. So we set those expectations. And that worked for us right now.
Yeah.
since we have set those expectations, you're doing the dishes. If I'm doing the dishes, then that will be a help, you can say.
Yeah, you are helping with my responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And vice versa. So otherwise, I don't think that word is valid if those expectations are not set, because the relationship needs to operate in all areas. And we are responsible for those areas to work, all of them. The emotional support, the physical tasks, the finances, everything.
Yeah.
So we need to have those stuff clear, like who is doing what. And it's not about 50-50 really, or you can call it 50-50, but divided over all these things that a relationship includes. So it's just about finding, a balance, like communicate it with honesty and what dynamic works. That is good. So let's move on and explore a little bit or reflect a little bit what his inner world
it's important also
means, and have like some empathy and understanding there. What does it mean that to everything I'm doing I'm doing it for the future? This scenario, again, I can relate to it so much, and especially from the man's perspective. As a man, many at least, naturally, we have this image of ourselves as a man to be the provider. And that might be controversial.
But providing what?
Yeah.
Economical provider?
Economically, emotionally, everything. Just being the provider. I'm not saying the woman is not the provider, but we have that idea as a man. We want to be the provider. Many men have that. And sometimes it goes too far.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to the money making.
All right.
Yeah. So the provider doesn't only mean bringing in the money. That is not how I
providing.
See it.
Yes. Now we have understood that providing is not only economically.
Yeah, but I believe that some men think that. And from my own experience here, and this is crazy that these words was actually coming up in that post, because we are early in our entrepreneurial journey. We are learning. We are just start building and all that, and it takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Organizing, planning, creating, and could be frustrating when the results doesn't come. And I have had to learn the lesson over and over again because I simply don't get it.
The result as expected.
Yeah, the result as I expected, like going quick, get the results now, secure the future. I mean, just yesterday, that was kind of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word burnout, but when the energy.
But for easier understanding of everyone, you had a burnout.
Okay, yeah. And I was like, what's going on now? And the emotions start to appear like, yeah, I'm a failure, I'm getting stressed. And again, also because of the pregnancy. Want to bring in that money, that wealth, that success in that area to our family before the child comes. And a few months ago, I had a really breakdown. I was so pissed, so frustrated, so disappointed of myself, and I didn't feel any worthy at all. And I came to the couch, and you saw the posture and everything, and you were like, what is it? And I said almost exactly what he said. Everything I do it for you, for us, and our future family. All the things that I'm doing. And what you said at that moment was something I never understood my entire life, which was, I didn't marry you because of your achievements. I married you for who you are. I love you for who you are. And I never understood that my entire life until
I love you even if you are a pedorro.
I never understood that until that moment. So you live with that, searching for this external validation, the achievements, the success, to trying to define how worthy you are as a man and a provider.
Yeah.
And I read a book about that. You have it there called The Mask of Masculinity by Lewis Howes. And I can really recommend that book to have an understanding of, men who have that emotional barrier and have those different masks. And one of them is that materialistic success that is blocking all other areas of your life to thrive. And it's really hard to build a relationship and connection wearing that. And from own experience, yes, it is almost impossible.
Yeah. But now from the partner's perspective, and yesterday is what I was telling you, and when we were going through this also was, when you say that everything I do it for you and for our child, I don't like when my husband is telling me that. I didn't feel comfortable. Why? Because in the priorities, because I believe we don't have only one priority in life. No, we have like a set of priorities. And then in that group of priorities, we have organized certain priorities like family, work, and some others. I take them kind of like the top three priorities, let's say, and they have different order. In that set of top three priorities, let's say, I don't want to be your number one priority, and I don't want our child is your top one priority. I want you being the top number one priority in your priorities, because I have understood that if my husband has himself as a priority, if he prioritizes himself, his physical health, his mental health, he is going to be able to provide whatever he wants to provide to his family and to his marriage, to his children.
Yeah. Well, that is really controversial to say when, your child should not be your number one priority.
Yeah,
but
that's very controversial.
To have that clear, that is what we believe, because if we don't have ourselves as a priority, we cannot do a good job towards anyone.
Yes, you're not able to. I mean, we have different roles. I have a role as a wife. I have a role as a mother, as a woman, as a sister, whatever, everything, different type of roles. If, let's say in this case, my role as a mother, if I have prioritized only my role as a mother, guess what? Eventually, your kids, they're going to be gone. They won't be there for you forever, living with you. So if you have that as your priority number one, when your kids are gone, who am I if I'm not there for serving my kids? So it's just a little controversial, but that's what we think. That is what works for us. Because I want you complete. I don't want you to be working for someone else, because then you're going to start creating resentment. You're not going to enjoy what you are doing. Because let's say you like what you are starting, the business that you are starting. Yes, that's great. But since you have the mindset that I'm doing this for my family, for them, then what about you? What about enjoying the process?
What about the bigger picture?
Claro.
Today's realization, mi amor.
Okay.
What would you say?
For today's realization, I think kind of feels that in every realization of every video we have done is kind of communication. Because at the end, it's like that. It's like being transparent, be honest, be clear of what you want. I mean, it's really, I have done that. And sometimes maybe, and I tell David, like, maybe, man, you know what? You have such an annoying wife, because I am very clear on what I want, what I need, and what I don't want. So in that aspect, excuse me, baby, but I'm so annoying. Yes, because I'm letting you know what I need.
And that's great. I appreciate that, because I can't read your mind.
Yes. So from that, and I have pushed him also to like, okay, a ver, what do you need? What would you want? How you want me to approach certain situations? So it's really the communication. And now what she's going through, the pregnancy, the hormones are a mess. So yes, we need like a different treatment, let's say, from the partner. So communication, top number one in this case, more than anything. What about you?
Well, I think it's a lot about understanding that life happens. Life happens, and we're going through different seasons of our lives. They are settling down for a new dynamic of their lives. So naturally, this kind of issues and tensions and maybe a little bit of resentment will appear. So for us, what helped, we had the expectations to always speak up with honesty and communicate what we want and what we need. So I think, understanding that it's seasons, and I'm working a lot on myself in this also, to accept that everything is temporary. It is not something that's going to be permanent forever. And we need to go through them and work through them and grow through them, not running away from them, because that is not going to help. Because I believe life is going to test you again and again and again and again and again, and can you finally realize that, all right, when you're ready to move on to the next phase. So it might look bad, but it might be really good that this is happening, because when this couple have solved this and communicated and find a dynamic that works for them, I am 100% sure that they're going to grow through this together and come out more connected with each other and have a deeper relationship with each other as well. And wish them all the best with their pregnancy and love and that growing family.
And business.
and business, of course.
Yes.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us
you.
today. Hopefully, this reflection that we have shared
Yes,
here
this
today
reflection.
inspire you to discover something more deep in yourself and in your relationship. Don't forget to like and subscribe to not miss out the next video where we're gonna talk about a boyfriend who wants to reconnect with an ex-girlfriend. So stay tuned for that. See you in the next one.
Nos vemos. Bye.
Take care. Bye.